Cool. We're going to start with an example of using the quadratic formula. The first equation we want to solve is 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have to identify the a, b, and c first. So the number for a is 2, for b is 3, and for c is negative 2. Just the numbers in front of the x squared, in front of the x, and then the constant out by itself. So we're going to use these three values for a, b, and c in our quadratic formula. Which, remember, the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Now that all has to be divided by 2a, so the fraction bar goes all the way across. Let's remember what our a, b, and c numbers were. A was 2, b was 3, and then c was negative 2. So I'm going to insert each of these values where it goes inside of parentheses just to keep everything straight. So it was negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times the a, which was 2, times the c, which was negative 2. And then all of that is divided by 2 times the a, which was 2. So here's our quadratic formula with everything plugged in where it goes. I use parentheses to make sure of a couple of things. If our b was negative, we would have to put a negative 3 inside and then square it. So we want to make sure that keeping everything straight, putting it in parentheses. I'll also mention that underneath the square root, you have a minus 4 times 2 times negative 2. So that minus 4 and the negative 2, when they multiply together, we're going to get a positive. So let's go ahead and work a few things out inside that square root. So we'll have negative 3 first, plus or minus the square root of 9, which was 3 squared, plus 16, which is 4 times 2 times 2, and we had minus and a negative, so it gives us plus. All of that's going to be divided by 4, which is 2 times 2. So then we have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 25, which is 9 plus 16, all divided by 4, which gives us two answers, negative 3 plus or minus 5, all over 4. So our two answers, one with negative 3 plus 5, and then one with negative 3 minus 5, which are going to give us two different values. The first, when we do the negative 3 plus 5 all over 4, negative 3 plus 5 on top is going to give us a 2. So that's going to be 2 over 4, which is going to be 1/2. So our first answer is 1/2 when we use the plus in the middle. Our second one is going to be negative 3 minus 5 over 4, which on top is going to give us negative 8 divided by 4, and then we get a negative 2 as our second answer. So this gives us, as I said, two answers, one with 1/2, one with negative 2. And so those are the two solutions that we had for the original equation.